Nolte, Gozhóó Dabih Nowíí Shik'íís. She Sarina Golán Deyol Gonséé, Chiricahua Aslíí, Ashóó Ahi'ye Dijii, Hagont'ee, Dijii. Welcome everyone. Good morning, family. My name is Sarina Windy City. I am Chiricahua Apache. Thank you for coming here and listening to me today for day 10. I asked how things are. I spoke in the San Carlos Apache language as I'm still on the pursuit of learning every day, applying it to my life, to my teachings, to my openings, to my circles, to stay fluent, to become more fluent, to be able to teach this to my grandchildren when the time comes. So grateful to my teacher, Ashóó, Ahi'ye. Thank you so much for your continued commitment and support for us to learn this language, and I just had to give him a shout out for that. As always, we like to start our circle in a good way. We like to all start our sacred smudge going. I have some sage here because we know that asking without offering is not our way. The teachings that have been passed down, try to apply them to my life in a good way. And honoring those teachings when I learn them and putting them in my life every day. So thank you, brothers and sisters, for your continued teachings so that I can learn and grow every day and then share them with all of you. All right, so here we go. Let us begin with our sacred smudge and prayer. All right. Oh. Thank you, Creator, for allowing us to come together today in this circle in a good way. We ask that you come into our hearts. Thank you, Creator, for our breath, the breath that you have given us, so that we can live on this land, live in this world. Thank you, Creator, for our sunrise and for our moonlight, for you've given us a beautiful place to be. We thank you, Creator, for allowing us to come here to be better humans. We come here to do your work and to learn from one another and to remember the prayers of our ancestors. We come here to pray for the 7 generations behind us and the 7 generations to come. We thank you for the sacred medicines that you and Mother Earth provide for us to use for in the offerings and prayers such as this today. We thank you, Creator, for allowing us to come to this circle to honor all our nations and relations, tribes, our relatives that you have given breath to. Thank you, Creator, for the 2-legged who teach us about love and compassion and understanding and of ourselves. We thank you for the 4-legged who we learn from and how to prepare in our own lives when the seasons change and who give us nourishment and sustenance to live in this world. Thank you, Creator, for the winged ones who teach us about our spirit and freedom and how to soar high. We thank you for the swimmers and the creepy crawlers and the slitherers who teach us to stay close to Mother Earth and stay connected. We thank you for all our relatives who remind us to stay connected to you and how to live a good life on the red road. We thank you, Creator, for letting us remember the teachings of the universal law and principles that you've written in each and every one of our hearts. We thank you, Creator, for allowing us to come today so that we can continue to heal and listen to the whispers of the ancestors and the teachings from others and hear them and teach them and apply them to our walks in this good way and the good red road. We thank you, Creator, for this way of life, for the sacred teachings of wisdom, humility, courage, honor, respect, love, for these are beautiful gifts you have given to us. Thank you, Creator, for all that you give and all that you do. And we thank you for another day of life. Starting our circles out in a good way like that is a good feeling for me, where I'm able to start to find balance and grounding as I come in. And I got a little, anxiety doing these because this is not something I'm used to doing. And it's getting easier as I do it every day, with my intentions being good and coming to share what it is that I've learned on my journey, recovery, sobriety, healing, grief, all of those things. And coming in a good way with an open heart and sharing what it is I've learned along my journey of doing this. because I know that I can't grow and share and learn without giving, without humility, without understanding the teachings and putting them into my life today. And I have to be honest with you, since we've done this. I've recorded about maybe about 10, 15 times. Each time it didn't come out right, and it was just like a split second. But this last one I just did that I'm saving. There was an orb that just came shooting from the ceiling down, and I'll share that with you all. Try to figure out how to put that in here. But it was amazing, and it was while I was speaking the Apache language. So let me know my ancestors are with me. One, or somebody came to visit me, because it just shot from the top straight down. I kid you not. I'll show you that video. I have to share that. But it lets me know that the other side is here, that we have opened those spiritual doorways in a good way for visitors to come. So honoring them in that way with prayer and offering sacred medicines and having the best intentions in the heart. I know that it's a good spirit visiting me, whoever it is, maybe my daughter, my mother, I'm not sure, but whoever it is, I know they come with love. I have no feeling of malevolence, or anything bad. That's what I'm trying to say. But thank you all for coming here and listening to me today. And we're going to talk about day 10 of the Daily Dose of the Red Road. As I try to talk about these things and do the videos in the best of my ability with the sake of time, and try to keep it down. But the Daily Dose of the Red Road here. Apologize for the light, but that it is where it's at. And you can find my book on Amazon. Working through these meditations, I was at a teaching this morning, and the elder who was teaching talked about how the meditations are so little. Someone had made a comment, and I just want to say, the meditation, just like today, are small, or if you will, doesn't have a lot of context or words or jargon. It is that little but mighty. And the thing is about what we do is to help you, guide you through your day with your own interpretation of what the meditations may be. And each time you go back to read them, they're going to have a different meaning. They're not going to be the same, because you're not the same, because you've grown and you've processed and developed. And so when you go back to read day 10, day 320, whatever, it's going to be different to you when you first read it. So I just wanted to make that comment, because you'll find a lot of meditations that are out there, and how we apply them to our life and our own interpretation of it during that day we're reading it, whether we're reading it in the morning, evening, or night, is going to be just that, our interpretation of the meditation. So for today's meditation for day 10, a Daily Dose of the Red Road, this is what I have, and I just wanted to say that because it's so important. It's not just a small meditation. It's powerful and mighty in how we put it into our lives. And I don't mean it in an egotistical way. I mean a spiritual growth. Whatever you're doing with the meditation, however it applies to you, as long as there's growth there. And we go back and revisit, go back and reflect, and then we do it all over again. So day 10 of the Red Daily Dose of the Red Road, and I'm grateful for all of you that continue to come to this circle to learn, to share, understand what it is, to how to apply not just these meditations of the Daily Dose of the Red Road, but others. Whether you read them in a post or you read them in someone's book, just how we apply them to our lives, your own personal interpretation. And that's what these are all about, for your own growth, spiritually and physically. So day 10 of the Daily Dose of the Red Road, and again, thank you all for those who have purchased my book, and for those who haven't, it's not a must, but they are great guided material to have, an instrumental tool, and to help you with these videos that I'm putting out every day for the Daily Dose of the Red Road. And then you have a place to document stuff, you have a place to journal your reflection, if you will, or in a separate piece of paper, or in another journal book. The fact is that you're giving yourself that time, that you're taking time for yourself to heal, and to reflect, and to journal, so you can let go of things that no longer serve you, and then bring in make room for goodness. So day 10, when in dark times, do not look for solace in negative pleasures. Look for peace and understanding within Mother Earth's treasures. And I'll share that with you. Again, when this book was created, it was during the time of my transition from a job. I had no idea how I was going to take care of myself financially, let alone with food or pay my bills. But I took that chance. I trusted in Creator, and I had dreams and visions of just letting go, surrendering. And while I talk about this before and share my stories often in circles, I did just that. And a beautiful sister, my publicist, got to give you a shout out. I love her. Plucked me out of that place I was of undecisiveness and confusion, and said, everybody has a book inside of them. And let me give you an opportunity to do this. And I was just blown away. I didn't know if I could do it. And she's been my rock as far as the journey of an author goes. I'm an international author. I can't believe that. Became an international author as of April 26th with my book published and posted all over social media and on Amazon. And I'm just one of the smaller parts of all the other beautiful people that are out there writing books, and authors, and our other elders writing meditations. And I'm grateful to be a part of that circle. And her mastermind created this virtual talking book tour launch where we're now inviting other indigenous writers. So I want to do that and give a shout out to that. If you know any inspiring or already established authors that are indigenous, please share their information with us. We'd love to have them come, talk to them about their book, talk to them about their project they're working on, and help lift them up, brothers and sisters. Get them out there so other people can start, stepping out of their comfort zone and do something creative for their healing and for others. So again, when in dark times, do not look for solace in negative pleasures. Look for peace and understanding within Mother Earth's treasures. As we journey and we walk on the red road, I know for me, speaking in a personal example, is what I used to do in my addiction, I don't do today. I'm no longer in a place where my addiction takes control of my life, that it's a priority from the first time I wake up, or first thing I wake up, I should say. It is very much a part of my life, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't take precedence against everything here. Just to put it again, it is not a priority, my addiction. However, staying active and proactive in my recovery is a priority. I don't ever want to go back to that life of what I used to live. I don't want to be in that place of darkness. I don't want to reach in my pocket and feel only lint. I don't want to have to sit in the house and looking at my kids across the table or anything like that I used to do, and then see the lights go out. I lived in such uncertainty, such turmoil, such pain, and I dragged my kids through it. And I apologize to my kids, working on my relationships with them still. And I do ask that if you can, pray for my son, who is struggling in his addiction. And I'm heading out to the West Coast this weekend to see if I can go find him and to bring him home and see if we can get him some help. Because he desperately needs it, and he's not doing well at all. But when I think about this meditation today and understanding what is Mother Earth's treasures, well, what do you perceive to be Mother Earth's treasures? For me, that would be meditation, beautiful music that we got playing here in the background, the medicines, sitting at a river, the trees, those grandfather rocks in the ceremony and the nipping. Connecting to the rivers, sitting in a park, looking at the animals, looking at our winged relatives, looking at our flowers bloom and change, our plants grow, our vegetables grow and become and blossom into that thing that they're supposed to be, just like us. Taking that time to understand what Mother Earth's treasures are to you is what you need to do, and finding what it is that keeps you balanced in harmony, that keeps you connected to your creator, that keeps you connected to Unchimaka, Mother Earth. And, you know, when we were in our addiction, when we were in those negative places and we took solace in negative pleasures, it was just what we did. It was our way of life. And I paused for a moment because I found myself back there. While it's hard to visit, hard to reflect on, I have to keep me in pursuit of the red road. And what I found myself doing back in those days in my addiction and all the negative behavior and self-destructive behavior I was doing, and the people I was leaving behind, and especially my kids, you know, I never want to do that. And I tarnished a lot of relationships. I did a lot of bad stuff to me. And I need to visit that from time to time to keep me on this path, you know, to really sit and think about, you know, my connection to Creator and to me and to who I am today. And while my kids are all grown, and, you know, one of them has a family of her own, you know, I try to give them space. You know, my youngest daughter, she was my lifeline when I first started my sobriety journey. I hung on to her. I drew probably her energy because she helped me so much financially, helped me get to another state. You know, she gave up her peace of mind and her time. Not that my other children didn't. My oldest daughter, she's my worrywart. They all are beautiful children, but they're all adults. I can't go back and change anything I've done with my kids. But they are a part of Mother Earth's beautiful pleasures. The things that they're doing and how they're living their lives today. I'm so proud of them. Even my son in his struggle. Because he's doing all on his own out there, and he has been for the last 3 years. But how he's doing it is what hurts me. And he's not alone. His mom is not dead that he tells people. His mother's very much alive. And his mother's coming again. So even when I arrive in a place that's got a lot of darkness like San Francisco does, I've been there before. You know, I'm very well aware of what's there. I have to hold onto my sobriety and recovery so tight. And I have to call on my Creator so much. You know, every second, every minute, I'm praying. Please, Creator, watch me as I walk this block. Please, I don't know where anything like that. But it doesn't just apply to that. It applies to every day in our single life. When we are in a darkest moment, and I don't mean physically, I mean, you know, in our mind, in our hearts, call on those pleasures, call on those treasures, call on those beautiful things that connects us to the Creator. You know, our ancestors, spirit guides. That's positive. And it helps us to stay rooted, you know. If you used to like fishing and you had to have beers with fishing, well, what are you doing now that you're in your sobriety? Still fishing, I hope. You know, still enjoying Mother Earth's treasures, the fish that are out there. You know, I'm a catch and release. That's what I do, unless I'm hungry and we got nothing in the house. But I'm mostly catch and release. I love fishing. But I used to associate fishing with drinking and drugging. Because I was out there all night getting those largemouth bass and getting all those, you know, fishing, even the bluegills, even the crappies, all of those fish. But I did it in a distorted way. I associated, just like when I went to the bar, associated drinking with smoking cigarettes. You know, and then when I did that, then it ended up to doing other things, and it was just association. And then the people I hung around with. What I'm trying to say is that in those dark times, it doesn't matter whether you, whatever dark times you may be in, whether you're sitting there and you're doing step work and you find yourself in that mindset, I want you to stop and remove yourself, put the book away, go do something productive. I tell my students all the time. It's not about getting stuck in our head. We're no longer in that place, which is growth in itself, right? Because we've changed our trajectory of our life and started to live a better way on the red road. What I am saying is, when we get in those dark places, that we do something productive. I tell my students all the time. I share it in these videos. I do it in my life. Because I'm still human. And I still have a tendency to have that stinking thinking that happens in my life. Although it's few and far in between. It's not all the time anymore. And instead of looking at challenges and obstacles as discipline or learning, lessons, look at them as blessings. What can I learn from this? I've changed my whole thinking, my whole me. It changed everything. And so I guess in a sense, if I think about it in that perspective, I am looking at Mother Earth's treasures. Because I'm not finding myself in those negative thoughts and those negative things that's going to help hinder my growth like it used to when I was in my addiction. And so again, it's about progress, not perfection. And I made a comment today that to my students, I believe in my heart that life is about learning. Is a school of life, right? We learn things every day. We stay consistent with being teachable, open, honest, sharing with others. And then for me, in my heart, and for what I believe, when I share, make room for more. And I've talked about this before in other videos. I make room for more growth. I make room for more learning. I continue to heal in that way. Continue to take care of the spirit. When I get to a point in my life where I'm not learning anything more, then I think I'm ready to go to the next life. I believe in my heart when I stop learning, then it's time for me to go home and report. Take accountability for the things I've done, good and bad. But that's my belief. I'm not trying to push that on you, whatever your belief is. However, that's why I stay in the pursuit of learning and continue to learn and stimulate my brain, because I'm not ready to go home. I'm changing rapidly. My body is aging rapidly. My hair is turning, and I embrace it all. To be in this place of total acceptance. And a few videos before I talked about where I won't be mobile and my kids will have to come and see me. But in the meantime, I'm going to take care of myself. I'm going to do the steps that I need to follow through, to take care of my body, to take care of me physically, to take care of Creator's Temple, to be that hollow bone, to share with others what I'm learning, to stay teachable, to stay open-minded, and most importantly, continue to heal, because I got a lot of stuff still inside of me. And it doesn't happen overnight. It does not happen overnight. So, when in dark times, do not look for solace in negative pleasures. Look for peace and understanding within Mother Earth's treasures. Again, these meditations are for your interpretation. What I do here is to help guide you through and how I use these meditations in my life and others, from other relatives, brothers and sisters. What I do and how I sit there and reflect on those things. And I like to reflect in the evening. I like to go back and journal in the evening. I don't do it every day, which I should probably, but I'm so busy. And I mean busy in a healthy way. It's not like before. But I delegate time for schoolwork, delegate time for writing, because I'm writing my second book, and I can't wait to get it out. I'm just completed chapter 5. It's a lot of context, a lot of healing in it, a lot of my shares, my stories, and it's kind of evolving that way. I had planned on doing an autobiography for my third, but the way that this book is moving and the way the Creator and my spirit guides and ancestors are helping mold it, as my stories are going into it, weaving in my own ceremonies that I'm able to share, my own teachings that I'm able to share. Being respectful and mindful of what it is I'm sharing, because there's a chapter on ceremony and reflections. And so you'll be able to take those and apply them to your life, or do whatever you need to help yourself along the way. But I've asked to share these. And so it is with permission that I'm sharing these, such as a water ceremony or a cedar ceremony or a prayer. So there is a chapter for all of that, and then the way that it's molding, like I said, is turning into an autobiography / walking the spiritual path of the Red Road. It's just beautiful. And you know what's so beautiful about it too is that I can take those negative pleasures that I had once, that I could share them with everybody, talk about how I used them in today, and you're just being understanding of that peace of serenity, that peace of spirit that I have, and how I'm applying that to my life so I can share with others my journey. While it's not so detailed descriptive about me per se, my autobiography, me is in it. I share some stuff in there with you. So that's my second book I'm working on, and I'll keep you posted on it. But this is about the daily dose of the Red Road, and just sitting in circles and learning more, and being open. Before I write, I sit down and I ask the Creator and my ancestors to speak through me, to type through me. And some of the stuff sounds old. Some of it sounds like a real elder. And they're all my words. I go back and edit, go back and look at it, go back and make sure it's spelled right. I use my grammar and spelling that I learned how to use in school. I use there's a button on my Microsoft document that shows the transition of the paragraphs. Do they make sense? And all of this stuff. So learning how to do all that. And so, yeah, it's got a lot of blood, sweat, tears in it, literally. Blood meaning I got a boo-boo when I say boo-boo, but it's from typing too long, too much. I didn't know that was something that could happen when you're constantly typing away, but it was. Tears, yes. Going back and remembering those stories, especially about when I share about my daughter who passed away from suicide in there. Just the words, like I said, Had I still been stuck in my addiction, and I used it, had I still been in my addiction, I'll rephrase that, I don't think any of this in my life would have happened. Me working at IHS, me writing a book, me reconnecting to my kids, me being of service, being a hollow bone, being allowed to sit with beautiful elders and spiritual guiders and mentors and advisors. If I was still there, none of this would be. All because I surrendered. Creator's my foundation. Creator is everything to me. I love unconditionally the Creator, even before my partner. He knows that. And he's okay with that. And what I'm trying to say, though, wherever you are in your life, wherever you're at, be gentle, be kind with yourself. Ask for help, reach out for help. Ask questions. Because we can't do this alone. I've tried 8 times before now to get well and sober, and I couldn't. I tried to get better, and tried to do it for others, court systems, didn't happen. Tried to do it for my kids, didn't happen. And today, I'll be going on 6 years. And you know why? Because I did it for me. Because I did it for me. And I got the Creator's help. And then comes my kids. And then comes my partner. Then comes my responsibilities and family and friends. I did it for me because it was time. And I did it with the help of Creator. And I don't want to take any more time from you all, but again, when in dark times, do not look for solace in negative pleasures. Look for peace and understanding within Mother Earth's treasures. Whatever you perceive that to be, whatever your interpretation is of that meditation today, journal about it, write about it. If you have any questions, reach out to me. You can find me, and I always connect the links down below. You can find me on social media, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn, whatever you want. I'm getting the hang of getting myself out there, promoting my book and my teachings. Also, you can find these teachings at dailyredroad.org. Again, that's dailyredroad.org. You can find these teachings there and find out a little bit more about what I do. And if you're interested in doing a workshop, inviting me to come and speak at your event or your school or classroom, you can get a hold of me there. Again, thank you for allowing me to be of service here with you today. Thank you for allowing me to share 30 minutes with you today. And there's another orb. Thank you for sharing yourself. I have a feeling that's my daughter. Thank you for being present. And I just want to send you off on a good way. A short little prayer again, because as we open, so shall we close. I love you all. Stay connected, stay in tune. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep sharing, most importantly, with your elders, with your teachers, with your students, with your peers, with your relatives, to make room for growth so you can continue learning, continue healing. Thank you for letting me be of service today. Oh, thank you, Creator, for allowing us to come together to learn a little bit more about how it is to walk the daily dose of the Red Road, to learn what it is to walk on the Red Road, Creator. Thank you, Creator, for the beautiful teachings that we each get from one another, to share with others, to apply to our lives. Thank you, Creator, for the time and space. And thank you for the relative who showed themselves in the video towards the end. That was beautiful. Thank you for letting me see that. Thank you for letting us see that. Thank you for the continued learning and sharing and growing and healing that we all do as a collective when we come together to do this. And thank you for all those teachers out there teaching. Thank you for all those healers out there healing. And thank you for being a big part of our lives, Creator. Deyol, Ashóó, Ahi'ye, Otowoyo Ashtem Takuyapi, Bopilataka Chichi, Pilamai. Thank you, Creator, for another beautiful day. Have a great day, relatives. Many blessings. Stay tuned for day 11 coming up soon. And again, if you haven't seen the videos, go to dailyredroad.org or Facebook and YouTube Traditional Teaching Circle Learning Hub with your co-host facilitator, Sarina Windy City, Golán, Deyol, Gonséé. Nowíí.